Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Taste of Sports channel. Today we are going to be talking about Manchester United, and it's a video I've been wanting to do now for quite some time. I just want to start off by saying, in terms of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and in management, I am Ole in, and I'll get right into explaining why. I am Ole in because I am sick of Manchester United ditching a manager and moving on to the next one. I think Ole needs more time in management. I know he's been there a while and his record isn't the best. He started off well, and he started off on a hot streak, and that kind of got everyone behind him, and then that's kind of like simmered down since, and I know that's annoyed a lot of people and caused a lot of people to want him out of the club. But I don't think a change in manager again is going to help the club at all. I think we stick with Ole. Every time a new manager comes in, they bring in a new style. I'm just going to go with three of the managers we've had at the moment. We had Van Gaal, who had his own style, and he brought in players that he wanted. Then we had Jose Mourinho, who had obviously a completely different style again, who brought in players that he wanted. Now we've got Ole, who's got his own style, which is kind of still developing, and then I suppose he's kind of using the players that Van Gaal and Mourinho brought in. Although Mourinho did abandon a lot of what Van Gaal had done. Or Van Gaal? I don't even know. I just don't think another change in management is going to help, because they all bring in their own different styles. They all even bring in their own players. And changes, if they keep going and going, are never going to help, because we actually need to stick to something and just build on it. For 5 minutes, please. I think the style that Ole plays at the moment is probably the best one we've had, and I know it's highly based on like counter-attacking football, but that's because of the players we have. I feel like he has the right style. He has a very attack-minded style of play. We just don't really have the players to back it. We just have young, speedy players, which is why we're such a strong counter-attacking team at the moment. But we do have to say, since Bruno Fernandes has come to Manchester United, things have changed for the better. At least a small bit. We're starting to get on the right direction now. Bruno Fernandes, oh my god, he's only played I think 2 games so far, but he's looked so good, especially in the last game when he got his goal as well. Like, Bruno Fernandes is exactly what we needed. We needed some, I don't know, is talisman the right word, but we needed some special talent in the midfield who could pick out passes, who could move the ball better, and Bruno Fernandes is definitely that guy. We had Pogba as well, but that's a whole thing that I'll get onto in a sec. We've McTominay in the midfield as well, who has been out, so that he's a young guy as well who's still developing. I don't think he's quite at the same, well, he's not quite at the same level as Bruno Fernandes or Paul Pogba. And I'm not saying Fernandes is as good as Paul Pogba, because I know that's possibly something that could annoy a lot of people as well. And anyway, I think Bruno Fernandes is a better fit for Man U right now than Paul Pogba would be. But yeah, in terms of our midfield, Fernandes is guarding it at the moment. McTominay is just back from injury, so we'll see how those two compare up. Fred, who's been getting a lot of playtime since McTominay went out, he's been okay. He's been very up and down. He's another young guy who's developing. This is pretty much what the entire squad is for Man U right now. It's a young team that's developing. We just need to give it time, which is another reason why I don't want to abandon Ole as manager, because they'll grow with Ole, they'll improve with Ole. Ole himself will improve. It's just not something that we should be abandoning right now. And in terms of Paul Pogba, I'd love for him to stay with the club, and I'd love for him to play consistently and be like pretty much exactly what we need, but I don't think it's going to work out, and I am all for selling Paul Pogba at the moment, to be honest. He brings way too much drama with him. There's far too much going on, especially with his agent and Solskjaer at the moment. I don't know what it is, but they are having an awkward back and forth. Pogba has never really been able to settle, at least recently, with the club, and it's just, he's injured all the time. Is he really injured? Who knows? This is something you should really be questioning about the player who's supposedly the best guy on the team. He just needs to go. We need to get the money, and we need to move on, and we need to use that money to invest in more players, because I'm sick of Paul Pogba sitting on the bench and making all this drama. It's just a waste of time. Let's just move on from him and be done, and then not buy him again in a couple of years, because Jesus Christ, he's probably going to go back to Juventus as well, which is really weird, considering we let him go and he went there and then we got him back and now he's going to go back there again. Like, what even? Just go to Juventus and stay there, for the love of God. As far as the season goes so far, I know a lot of people already know how it has been. We've been great against top teams. I think we have one of the best records against like the top 6 teams because of our counter-attacking style. We've often won games where we've had less possession because of the youth, because of the speed we have. We catch teams out and we score goals that way. Whereas when we play the lower teams, we struggle to break them down because we haven't had someone like Bruno Fernandes in the middle of the field who can pick up passes to get past the teams, the lower down teams that sit back against us. And now that we have a Bruno Fernandes, at the time of recording this, we just played Watford, which is the game I'm on about, where Fernandes got his first goal, and it was just so much nicer to watch us have someone in the middle who can pick out a pass that will get past a defense that's just sitting, rather than just have a load of players in the midfield who look like they're lost and don't know how to break it down. We now have Fernandes, which is just so much better, and we need to build around him. Please. We could potentially do with more strikers in the summer, but I mean, maybe we bring in a superstar striker. I don't know if we have that kind of pull anymore as a team. I don't know if we have, like, are we a team that even attracts that kind of player anymore? As sad as that is to say, I think we are. I mean, we have Anthony Martial, we have Marcus Rashford, we have Mason Greenwood, who are all great strikers. Martial has been the most up and down striker I've seen in a long time for United. His form is either great, like we saw against Watford, where he had that, like, I don't want to call it a swaggy finish because it sounds kind of weird and cheesy, but it really was. He was so composed and just made it look easy. That's the kind of thing we need from Martial. But then other times he just looks like, I don't know, like he's out of ideas. Because like you see flashes of brilliance from him. Like, being honest, we've seen clips of him dribble through endless amounts of defenders, and it's nice to see when it's good, but then he needs to be doing that consistently. Rashford, obviously, I think is our top scorer and has been pretty good all season, so I can't really complain about him, but he has been the only one that we've had, and I don't want to say it's easy to stop him, but it is, like, it's predictable what we do if we just run with Rashford all the time, because it's like in basketball playing small ball. It's just the speed. His speed is going to beat you, and if his speed doesn't beat you, we're going to struggle to break it down. But again, we haven't seen Rashford with Bruno Fernandes yet, so that'll be interesting. Mason Greenwood is really young. I can't remember exactly how young he is, but he's like 17, 18, 19, somewhere around there. So he's obviously yet to develop like the rest of the squad, which is basically what I've been saying this entire video. But yeah, Greenwood needs time to progress. Those three up front, even Rashford, Martial and Greenwood, could be like a lethal front three. We just need them all to progress a bit further and just get a bit better, because they have a lot to live up to be fair, being the strike force for Manchester United. But I think they could do it, but maybe if we bring in someone, I don't even have any suggestions of who we could bring in, but if we bring in one maybe like big central striker would do us. Because these three guys are all like smaller, speedier guys who could maybe play like wider up front, but we don't really have like that one central striker. So maybe that would be the one thing we need. Then obviously we need someone to help Bruno in the middle of the field. We can't just have him on his own, because as we saw with Pogba, that just doesn't work. And Pogba is a great player. We just didn't surround him with anything. Our defence is alright at the moment. We've Harry Maguire back there. We've Wan-Bissaka, obviously. Luke Shaw is a solid player, as much as people do like to hate on him. He's solid, and that'll do, to be honest, being a defender. And then David De Gea obviously has had his stumbles this season, we'll say, but again, David De Gea is world class. The entire team has been iffy this season, so I feel like we need to get past this season. If we can finish out the Premier League strong, make a push for the top 5, 4 obviously would be great, but it's hard to budge anyone out of that top 4 at the moment. Maybe Chelsea will drop off a bit, but they're having a great season, so we'll have to wait and see how they do. But I feel like we could finish the season strong and make a push for the top 4 at least. And a lot of the players have already kind of been proving themselves in the Europa League, but if we can make a proper run at the Europa League, I feel like that would give a lot of players confidence. It'll give fans confidence that we can actually make a push for a trophy. I don't know if you can hear Flash snoring in the background right now, by the way, my pug. But Jesus Christ, it's very loud. Yeah, it seems like it's coming through in the mic. But anyway, I feel like if we can make a run in the Europa League, it'll do everyone a world of good. It'll give fans the confidence that we can actually make a cup run, players the confidence that they can make a cup run. And I just feel like Europa League is key right now, and obviously finishing out the season strong and making a push for the top 4 is what we need to be doing. Because then, you know, then the season's not as bad as everyone seems to have made it out to be all season. I know we're Manchester United and we should be making, like, a push for the title in the Premier League, but Liverpool this year have been absolutely untouchable, so we can just write this Premier League season off as nobody else was going to win the league anyway other than them, so it doesn't even matter how good we were, because even if we were Man City level good, they're still miles off Liverpool, so we just have to see if Liverpool can keep that up and if we can grow into a better team. We're not ready yet to be Liverpool caliber. As much as that pains me to say, we're not ready for that yet. We are very young, manager's very young. But I think it can all work. If we sell Pogba, get the money in, make the signings, I'm excited about the team's future, and that's why I'm Ollie in. What a long-winded story. But yeah, that's going to be me done for this video. Let me know if you're a United fan, let me know in the comments below what you think about the season, and if you agree or disagree with anything I've said. If you're a fan of soccer in general, let me know what team you follow in the comments below and how your season's going, or any thoughts that you have on United other than you hate us, because most soccer fans in the world do hate us, to be fair. But yeah, we love it. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.